boutique.ca.
Sorry, I forgot to do that.
Hey, I have a question, Corey.
Yep.
Regarding Victoria race morning timing / the whole cluster of chaos that happens in the morning there because of the no drop off and all that good stuff, right? What's the recommended kind of timing? And maybe you don't know this, and maybe we can get a note out on this, or and you know, and where do we park? Like that parking lot last year was full. Like you couldn't park there and take the bus, right? When I got,
so it's an early race to begin with, so it's a 6 a.m. start, which sucks, but gets you up super early. I have a secret parking spot that I'll share with you.
or you can just come.
Now you need to get there early. Let me just find out what the I think last year we showed up. We were there just after 4, maybe. There it is. So if you're familiar with the site, as you're pulling in, there's the gas station there.
Yep.
What is that? Hamsterley. So you enter Sayward. Sayward Road. It's kind of that main entry into the site.
Yeah.
And then if you take the first right, there's a road called Hamsterley. And there's usually parking there if you're early, and then you can walk really close, but you have to get there early, and it's worth it.
So I didn't know that there's a no drop. So you have to drive yourself.
It's you got to be prepared for it for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's really congested in there in the morning. Like people will be dropping off, but it's really hard to get in and out. There is parking down Hamsterley Road as well. If you're there early, this would be the one race I would say.
Get there early.
You may as well get up extra 20 minutes early and be one of the first people there and get a good parking spot. Literally, Darren and I sat and just closed our eyes for 20 minutes as we waited. But we actually we didn't even have to get there that early to find a spot there because most people didn't take the chance and just took the shuttle. But that would be my recommendation because it's very limited parking near site, and the shuttles suck.
Yep.
Okay. Corey, last year we just had someone drive us down there, and then instead of turning left into the event space, which is like backed up for kilometers, you can turn right, just turn right on that road. We just got dropped off and then cross the street and walk to the start line pretty much. If you've got someone who's able to drive your car and just kind of drop you off, and then they can go park and you can go do whatever.
There's parking down that road too.
So
I got dropped in the same spot too. Just off
that's across the highway.
Yeah, so I think it's like kitty corner from whatever gas station's there.
Yeah,
it's a petrol can, you guys, and the road is called Sayward Road.
Yeah. But when you said turn right, you mean on the other side of the highway, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
And like that left-hand turn is like it'll be backed up from 450 onwards. It's just a nut house.
Yeah. And if you want to miss that, even
coming the backside,
skipping that turn and turning right, pulling a U-turn and going straight across might be a quick way across too. I know we did that when we were trying to get in for athlete check-in and swim, which was also backed up. That's the most important question.
Well, it can mess your day up pretty quickly, right? Right from the start.
Yeah. Although it's better than it was when it was on the other side of the lake.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
That was like in, what was it, Beaver Lake or
Yeah.
Was it over there? Yeah.
Yeah. It was just as bad. More parking, but not enough.
Mhm.
All right. Morning parking. Check. Set your alarm early. You're not going to sleep anyway.
Did you see Kyler's in the chat box there? Because I have
Oh.
those are some of the same questions that I have.
Beauty. All right. So recommendations for tri-suits in Kelowna. Nope.
Do we
Anyone
really
know of
need a
anywhere in
tri-suit?
Kelowna? Have you been around looking for a tri-suit?
Do you really need a tri-suit? Can you just wear can you change in between, or is that not like you're not really worried about time as much? Being my first one.
Yeah. I don't believe they have changed tents. You can rip into a porta potty or wear the same shorts.
Okay.
You're out and about, eh, Kyler? Sorry. You're like that guy on the Zoom call that hit the green screen behind you. That reversed.
My bike ride went a little long for sure.
As anyone so no, I guess to your question, Thomas, you don't need a tri-suit. I would try to wear the same bottoms the whole way, and then you can change tops and transition. If there is any sort of expo, you might be able to pick up a tri-suit on the Friday,
You mean
Saturday.
expo at the race, right? When you get there on the Saturday.
Yeah.
What about the store in
Vancouver, you
Penticton?
might want to
Is there stores in like Vancouver or Victoria? There too.
Yeah, there's a few in Vancouver. Probably search for them.
So
Okay,
I know
Tri-Geeks, they still exist?
Tri-BC has some tri-suits there as well. Yeah.
Sorry, where's that, Jerry?
Tri-BC, or sorry, Tri-Boutique. They have some suits, and they're decent at returning too. And like Larissa said, they come fairly quick, so you could probably get it before the race for sure. I actually got one last week because mine ripped up my original, but the one I was using. So yeah, that's a possibility as well.
And Peach City runners in Penticton always had a good selection.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get to Penticton, I don't know.
Yep.
Okay.
My recommendation, which I learned last year after we did Victoria and we had the same sort of talk, was I had really bad chafing from wearing a sleeveless tri-suit, and Corey and Julie had recommended getting a longer sleeve tri-suit so that, I don't know, I found the armpit of my sleeveless tri-suit that I wore for Victoria gave me such bad chafing on my arms. By the end, I was running with my arms out. So
Did you use Body Glide? Did that?
I did. I had such bad chafing, and now that I'm wearing the Zoot with the longer sleeved, it's like so much better. So that's
I will say I definitely prefer the sleeves by far.
Good pro tip right there.
Yeah.
Plus, it's more aero.
That is true too. More aero, protect you from the sun, keep you cooler. Whole lot of benefits. Other than going to the washroom, I think the one piece is the way to go because it holds everything where you want it to be. But that's up to you as well. Tyler doesn't have his bum chafe or bum callus yet.
Working on it.
Yeah. You definitely can put on another layer, like a bike short on top. It could go wrong. In terms of depends on the thickness of the chamois, and again, may be comfortable, may not be. You can try it out between now and then and see what's comfortable, but suck it up.
Corey, someone posted about the bike course not being in very good shape.
Yeah.
and the roads being, you don't seem to care. If I get a flat, that's pretty much the end of my gig. No points for the club.
Yeah.
They'll do
mean,
some
last
cleaning
year
up.
is all right. I mean, you're riding on the roads. Some are good, some are bad. Most of the big potholes they'll have marked, but you definitely want to keep your head up because, yeah, I mean, you still got 90 kilometers of road that is definitely going to be worse than last year going through the winter. But I wouldn't say it's overly bad. There are definitely nicer sections than others, but I will say there is a section on a bike, like a little bike path or walking trail. Definitely keep your head up on that one. That one's really tight to get through, and it's not exclusive to racers. And I know I encountered a little man and his dog last year, and it was a close call. But yeah, I mean, the road conditions are fair, unless too bad Don's not. He just rode the course. He would, if you really want to know, ask Don. He rode it last weekend. He could tell you all the ins and outs, what he found.
That's the post that she's referring to.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
is that what
post
he said?
hurt me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said part of the road's ripped up, and like I was not loving what I read.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Bring a flat kit. Or you're right, your day will be over.
Yeah. Well,
not many, so most people carry their bike nutrition on their bike. I will say I have seen a Camelback from time to time. So, I mean, you can carry your stuff any way you like, but yeah. Not many people wear any fuel belts there, Kyler, on the bike. Doesn't mean you can't, though. Super early, Callie. I wish I remember what time we got there last year. It might have been like 4. Anyone have what time's transition open?
Yeah, so I was just gonna say. They open it at 6 or
4:30.
something, right?
Transition opens 4:30.
6, right? So
If you're down there between 4 and 4:30, I think you'll be okay. Most people will push it a little later to squeeze in an extra 10 minutes of sleep for a 45-minute stressful bus ride. So I would say shortly after 4 you'll be good to park.
I just put my hand up. Is when you get a flat, are you toast? Are there people that'll help you? Because I've changed a flat tire before, but I'm not like super fast at it. Like, is it actually game over?
It could be. Sometimes there is a support crew or motorcycle. It depends on the race and what they have set up. So they may be able to assist you. You may be waiting there for a few hours before they find you on course. So it really depends. It's kind of a crapshoot. I would definitely practice changing a tire. I mean, if you're running clinchers and you have tubes in there, that can be hopefully 5 to 10 minutes worst case. If you're really good at it, you can get her done in 2-3 minutes. If you're running tubulars, that's another story. You may or may not bring an extra tube or a tire with you. Probably won't. And if you're running tubeless, hopefully the sealant takes care of any punctures and you can keep on riding. But yeah, I always bring at least 1 tube. Usually 2, because I'll screw one up and pinch flat it because I'm rushing. So I'd always recommend bringing 2 tubes, 2 CO2s, your levers, your little adapter onto your valve. I also ended up last year in Ironman Canada where I actually blew out the sidewall, hit a rock. Now, luckily, that was a situation where I did have a support vehicle right there and was able to give me a new tire. But If you do have any major blowouts and you're trying to put a tube in there, often when you go riding, you'll see guys throw like a $5 bill in their tube to try to hold it together. A used gel wrapper is another thing you could throw in there if you've blown out your sidewall. But yeah, it's not going to happen to anybody. You're going to have a perfect day. No flats. But practice a few times. It's something you can do just right there in your place, and you can YouTube it.
Yeah, and I would also add, check your tires, obviously, make sure they're in good shape before you put the precious 90K on them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're running old tires, get some new ones. Usually I have a set of race tires that recycle afterwards. But and if you're running tubes from last year as well, you're probably it'd be a really good idea to put some new tubes in, especially if you had it on the trainer, like a wheel on trainer. Wheel off, you're fine. But yeah, that's a really good point, Jerry. More new stuff, the better. Clean your bike. You'll get free watts from a clean drivetrain. Plus, you want to look good on race day.
So is it, I put it in the chat, but it's a rolling swim start?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it has been for a number of years. It is self-seated. And we did get a swim warm-up last year. Actually, the water was quite nice last year, so you are able to get in before, get 10 minutes of swimming in before you have to line up. You do have to line up about 10 minutes before the race starts, so plan on that. And then, yeah, it'll be seated by estimated time. Again, I recommend seating yourself up a little bit. And hopefully you end up in a spot where you can draft some quicker swimmers. And if not, you get to tag on to defeat the people that pass you, which is perfect.
Do you want to talk about the run maybe for anyone that hasn't run that course? It's
Pick your feet
different. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Good point.
Sorry, Jerry.
That's okay. It's a good shot.
Do you know the route that got you last year?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. My skin's still there, I think, but yeah.
It's a very challenging run. There's very little elevation, but you cannot get in a rhythm for the life of you because you're always ducking and dodging and weaving and twisting and turning. It's some of it's single track with lots of routes, lots of varying terrain. You will be on asphalt for a bit, then gravel, dirt, everything. So and then once it gets a little congested on course, yeah. But it's flat and it's shaded a lot of the times, and hopefully it won't overheat. And it's actually it's a fun and engaging run. It's not like you're out on a road all by yourself and you can't see the end. It's it goes by pretty quickly because of the trail running. But yeah, got to be careful of the roots and the rocks, and yeah, there's a lot of obstacles, especially when you're tired.
Are you gonna go socks for the bike?
Socks or no socks? This is the debate. I go no socks on the bike because I like to let my feet dry out, and I really have no blister issues on the bike. If it's colder, that could change things, but I would opt to throw, say, toe warmers on before socks, as well as just speed through transition. For the run, obviously, it depends on blistering or not. I will throw them on for a half, particularly because you're also sweating and dumping water on yourself potentially, which the water will, really soften the feet up and cause blisters. So I typically save my socks for the run. so that they're dry, ready to go, as opposed to being, if you wear them on the bike, there's a good chance they'll be wet when you hit the run. And again, wet feet running for a half marathon, not happy feet. So that's what I do. But I do know people that will change them, and you can bring as many pairs of socks as you like. So if you're not in a rush, you can put on fresh socks for the bike. Pull over halfway, put on another fresh, no, put fresh socks on for the run and do your thing. But
You take any time in T1 to get the sand off your feet before throwing your shoes on and going, or before hopping on the bike, or do you just leave it?
I treat it like a sprint.
Yeah, okay.
Again, it really depends on how important 30 seconds might be to you, or a minute. If it's not important, then be comfortable. I think last year I won my age group by 10 seconds. So every second counted in that respect. So yeah. If you want to go as fast as possible, then go as fast as possible. But typically the sand's going to come off the feet as you're running through the grass. Got to be careful to transition too. It's not groomed. It was a poorly cut field with lots of holes in it. So also, be careful running through that. And then, however you want to approach transition, whether you're, I do believe you are allowed to keep your shoes on the bike for this one. Your gear's at your bike. Was that correct? Do you guys remember from last year? There's no bags, is there?
No bags.
No bags there. Yeah, you drop your stuff and then get your bag out of there.
Was there were there transition bags like Ironman?
Oh no.
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 Yeah.
No. Okay.
Just had a spider crawling on me.
Yeah.
So some of these 70.3s, you actually have to put all your bike gear in a plastic bag. And that sometimes hangs somewhere else where you have to grab it and get to your bike and then do your thing. But yeah, I believe if my recollection serves me right, this was just like the cherry blossom.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll see you, Kathy. Where's Kathy already gone? She might have already gone. Okay. Yeah, there's lots. So I guess if you need help in the swim, raise your hand. Actually, take your swim cap. Paddler will come over to you. You can hold on to the kayak. You just can't have them pull you forward. So you can't make any forward progress. But if you do need, if you take a gulp of water, end up in an emergency situation, you can grab a kayak and not be disqualified, as long as you're just staying there for the time you need. Yeah. The swim boys, the boys on the way out are just for sighting purposes. So you can, now the athlete briefing may say differently, but according to the rules, you can take those boys on either side. So the yellow boys or orange boys, you can go either way. You do have to take the turn boys, the big red boys at the far end, because it's one big rectangle. You got to stay to the left of those. So those are the only ones you really have to go around. So if you do end up in a situation where you're kind of getting boxed in or with too many people, you can swim on either side. Sight often if you're not a straight swimmer, which you're probably not. So if you're following a group of people, great, use them for sighting. The less you have to pick your head up, the better. But if you don't see anybody, pick your head up and make sure you're still going in the right direction. I'll typically, if I'm on my own, I'm going to sight every probably 6 to 8 strokes. Is that it for the swim? Swim, transition, bike, roads are crap.
Corey, where's the sun? What direction is it when you're going out? Where's the sun in your eyes? Like, cause it's early, so the sun would be pretty low,
Yeah.
hey? Can you
Never had
remember?
that problem in Victoria. I've only saw the sun at the end of the race, I think. Does anyone know that? I don't know. I literally have
Yeah,
never had that
I
problem.
agree. It wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not like Penticton where you're going right into the sun. Like, yeah. It was-
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it's an overcast day, you'll want to wear more clear goggles. If it is a sunny day, then you can get away with the tinted. But yeah, I don't know how many I've done this race 3 or 4 times now, and sun has never been an issue. That's
I'm
a
really
good one.
looking forward to this. Sounds fantastic.
Oh, it's gonna be a great day. So, fueling strategy, make sure you got that dialed. I know I've talked to that about with a lot of you already on the line here, but know the grams of carbs you're going to need per hour. Now, typically it's 30 to 60, but athletes are pushing that up quite a bit higher if you've been practicing. I wouldn't get crazy if you haven't been, so I would stay between that 30 to 60 grams per hour, and then just figure out what what you're going to need to consume to hit that, and whether that's going to be liquids, solids, gels, some combo. And you don't have much more time to practice it, so hopefully that will feel all the way through. So, I mean, the best case scenario, you're going to stay topped up completely on the bike so that you don't have to take as much in on the run. You're probably not going to be able to take the same amount of calories in on the run just because you're running. It's way harder to digest. You're not going to have access to it as easily. So if you can come off the bike's the buffet, come off fully fueled, you should be able to take what's on course. I mean, you're welcome to bring your own nutrition on the run, but you can get away with what's on course. And looks like they do have the Morton gels, just not the caffeinated ones. And then unfortunately the sport drinks Gatorade. So, and it's not the good Gatorade, which means you're not going to get many electrolytes on the run if you're taking on course. That being said, if it's not really a hot day, you might be fine, or if you're not a heavy sweater, but you may want to consider something to top up the sodium potassium, because regular Gatorade's not going to give you a whole lot. And then your other options are going to be water. That last lap, Coke and Red Bull might get you through. That being said, if you're not a Coke and Red Bull drinker, that could, Leanne, I would totally want to see you take a shot of Red Bull just to see what happens. Be this flame going by me.
Oh, I have to survive the swim, Corey.
Yeah, you'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, sometimes taking in a little bit of solid on the bike to keep the stomach grounded is a good idea. You might want to bring a banana, a bar, some sort. I use the little Stroop waffles. I'm going to probably have 1 or 2 of those on the bike. With more fluid probably.
So question.
Yeah.
So for bringing like our own nutrition and stuff, I'm just thinking like with logistics, is it like the Cherry where you bring all of your stuff like to your bike and that's like there the day before, or you bring that stuff in the morning on Sunday and leave it somewhere? Or because I saw that there's a bike drop Saturday on the agenda. So you bring everything on Saturday with you and then you just leave it there?
No, just your bike. Only your bike on Saturday.
Just bike on Saturday.
Yeah. Everything else bring on Sunday morning. So bring all your nutrition, all your other, I would even say bring your bike computer, bring your shoes, everything the morning of.
Okay. And then there's a spot for it. Cool.
Yeah. All that'll be right next to your bike. Obviously in the morning, you'll have access to your bike. So you'll load up your bottles, you'll put on your bike computer, you'll make sure everything still looks good, your tires are pumped up. You'll lay out your transition area like you did with the Cherry, and then you're ready to rock.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Any other thoughts, questions?
Do you have any kind of just general pacing strategies or tips? How long do you try and hold off before murdering yourself, kind of thing?
I find murdering comes to you. So it will find you eventually on that run. Yeah, I mean the swim, you're going to take the swim out too fast. You're just going to do it. Don't worry about it. If you can settle into a comfortable pace as soon as possible, great. And if you have the ability to draft, as you know, in the pool, it can make a big difference. So if you're swimming, I mean, everything really for a 70.3, you're going to be in zone 2. If you're strong and fit, you can probably do a lot of the day in zone 3. And that's for all 3 disciplines. So, I mean, take the swim out. Everyone's going to be going fast. You don't want to get swum over, but settle down, hopefully find some feet, and then go nice and easy on the feet. If you don't find feet, then just swim comfortable. Get in a nice breathing rhythm. Smile while you're swimming. Pretend you're enjoying it. It will be over before you know it. And yeah, said keep it comfortable. T1, transition 1, control the breathing. The heart rate's going to jack as soon as you go from horizontal to vertical, and you're running and you're all full of adrenaline and people are cheering and all this stuff's going on. So, move purposefully quick, but you don't have to be all out sprinting. That goes for the other transition as well. But so keep an eye on the heart rate, especially as you get on the bike. Usually my heart rate's elevated substantially. It takes usually 20 minutes to 30 minutes for my heart rate to finally stabilize and get back down after that swim exit and transition. And say the bike, honestly, you should feel comfortable the whole time. Like you're not dilly-dallying, but if you feel the legs burning up, that's a little too hard. So careful of burning the matches because you only have so many of those, definitely with all the rollers. And you got the biggest climb coming at about 80 kilometers right at the end. So you'll want to save some gas for that. So, stay on make the bike all about just steady pace, fueling. Set your timer every 5-10 minutes, let it beep, give you that signal to eat, drink, whatever, stay on top of it. Because it is really easy to get through the first hour and go, oh shit, I haven't eaten anything or drank anything, or get to the end of the bike and your bottles are still full. That's a big problem. So make the bike all about fueling for the run. The first lap, again, I would stay in that zone 2, maybe zone 3. It may take 2 or 3 kilometers for you to find your legs. You're actually feeling like you're running again. If it's a colder morning, I think I hit kilometer 7 or 8 last year and my feet finally unfroze. So you could be running on what feels like just frozen stumps for the first little bit of the run, which makes you feel incredibly uncoordinated and terrible. And then also as your feet thaw, you will feel like you have rocks in your shoes, but you don't. There's just your feet thawing out. So don't stop and check unless you see blood coming through your shoes, maybe stop and check your feet. But anyway, that's a weird phenomenon. But yeah, find your legs. So let your legs find you on the run. Don't over push the first few kilometers trying to hold a particular pace. Let your body find the pace naturally. And like I said, once you get past maybe 5 kilometers or so, halfway around the lake on the first lap, hopefully you've kind of found your rhythm, and then you can start really dialing in the pace to where you're looking to maintain. And then honestly, if you have anything left, that last loop or half a loop, I mean, dump it all there. Even running, if you have the ability to run 5K at your threshold intensity, amazing. You'll probably feel like you're running all out threshold intensity, but running a zone 2-3 pace. And that's where the murder will find you. You will hit a point where, okay. Nutrition wise, something to be aware of, typically around 4 hours, you kind of tip over this sweet salty barrier. So if you're taking a lot of sweet drinks, sweet gels, I can guarantee you, as you're getting through the run, you're not going to be able to even think about putting any of that in your mouth, or you'll try to put it in, but it's not going to go well. So another thing you might want to prepare for in terms of what you might consume that isn't super sweet. Maybe it's a different dilution. Again, I know F2C, I actually just use their raw with the no flavor, and it's got no flavor, which is freaking amazing. So if you're bringing your own drink on course, just be aware of that. If you are taking stuff on course, again, just understand you may get to the point where Gatorade's not going to be your friend. Maybe you can do some Coke and Red Bull in little bits because they're so concentrated, but that could happen.
Sorry, who's
same
handing
with
out
gels.
Coke and Red Bull on the race? Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were kidding.
It's caffeine.
Caffeine and sugar. That's
Yeah.
and then you're on this yo-yo.
You have to keep drinking it.
Yeah, you're like, I feel good. No, I'm done. Oh, I feel good. Oh, trash. Oh, I feel good.
Just follow it with the chips and pretzels that they give you.
Exactly.
That's good, yeah. And that can be where some of your other electrolytes come from, like topping up sodium. If you can get it in.
Do they have wetsuit strippers after the swim?
Not last year. I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems to be the trend not to have them, right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Sorry, no strippers. The good old days.
Okay, I'm gonna ask, what is this wetsuit stripper? Is it someone takes it off?
Yeah, you just lay down and they just rip it off you.
Got it.
And then you just
I'll take
flex. No. I think it's slower anyway. So when you get out of the water, first thing, just flip your goggles up, leave everything on because you want your hands. So don't take your cap and goggles off first. Leave them. You're going to be running with your cap and goggles on your head. Unzip the wetsuit as you're running, get her down to your waist or just below. Once you've done that, then you can take the cap and goggles off. I like to just stick them into my wetsuit sleeve, or you can just run with them. It doesn't matter because you can just throw them down next to your bike at transition. And then hopefully you can get your legs and feet out of your wetsuit as easily as possible. That might be something you want to practice as well. Some wetsuits are easy to get out of. Some wetsuits are absolutely impossible. But it's fun to watch people roll around on the ground and try to get it off.
That'll be me for sure.
Definitely, I'll definitely be that person.
Like a dead fish out of the water with no air.
There you go. Some people will cut their legs, even arms, to make the holes wider. You did that, didn't you, Luke? Did that hold up on your suit?
Yeah, the suit's still intact, and it definitely made it easier on my legs to just kind of whip my foot out.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if I cut the arms. Actually, I don't think I cut the arms. I think it was, oh, I'm getting a leg cramp. Just the arm, or just the legs, sorry, not the
legs,
arms.
yeah, the ankles. Yeah. So if you do have really tight ankles on your wetsuit, you can trim them. But if you can avoid it, avoid it.
Corey, can you just speak to Ironman rules about how you leave your area afterwards, like wetsuit? Is there a certain space that has to be left in, or what does it look like? And then as well, do you do anything, since I'm new to this sport, like are there beers after? Do people get together? Do we have a KTC thing? You know, like that'd be my expectation, that we could have a beer after and cheers people, but I don't know what the style is.
Yeah. I've had many a good times in Victoria. Now I got to drive home that night. So, but I plan on having a cooler because we got a few hours to kill after the race before we get all our hardware. So that is the plan. At least for me, there was no shortage of non-alcoholic beer there last year, but I'll bring my own. Transition area, it's going to be jammed, or typically it's jammed, so you're not going to have as much room as you would have at, say, at the Cherry. So all your stuff needs to be close to your bike. So whatever it is, but there's no, you just put it onto your bike. Or right beside your bike when you take it, when you're like your wetsuit. But there's no particular rule or area you have to put it. But you don't want to infringe on your neighbor. All right. Any other burning questions?
Are you talking about Oliver too, by any chance?
Yeah, you got an Oliver question?
Yeah. Is it for the standard on Saturday? Is it just day of, same thing as Cherry? Like you bring your gear day of, or are you dropping it off the day before?
Good question. Check out their. I don't know the answer actually.
That's fine. I can take a look at the website.
Yeah, if you go to, you can check out their athlete guide. I know they don't have their itinerary up for the standard. There's athlete check-in. I'm going to imagine it's check-in that morning of. But I don't want you to quote me on that. So I'll have to pop over to the website and check that out. Even for Victoria, I'd wear sunscreen. And I always find if you put sunscreen on the night before and then a little bit in the morning, you don't need to reapply. Tends to soak in and keep you pretty, yeah. Keep you protected. But don't start the season out with a crazy singlet burn. You'll look ridiculous. No, it's. I've seen some pretty bad race day burns, blister burns. Do you have any other Oliver questions there, Adrian?
No, I mean, I haven't done it before, but it seems pretty straightforward. It looks like it's day of, and everything starts at 7:30.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a decent time.
A little more civilized.
They should be doing it all over again. Why am I going to Victoria?
You can do that one too.
Instead, I've got to drive from Kelowna to Oliver.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Cool. All right. Anything else? Feeling confident.
Thanks, Corey.
Pleasure, Derek. Have a good one.
Great info.
Thanks, Corey.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, yeah. Have a great night. We'll see you bright and early. If you do have any questions that pop into your mind, though, feel free to just ask somebody. They'll know. Shoot me an email anytime or catch me on the pool deck. Cool. If you do want to do any swimming in your wetsuit too, might want to try that out in the pool. Rinse it out really well.
After the pool.
Yeah, and it's
We're
hot.
gonna yeah, aren't we gonna do a wetsuit swim though before?
I'm gonna swim on
like-
Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, I was gonna swim. We're going early, so I was gonna just go and swim.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, I just know for me it takes. I need a few swims to get the feel down,
Yeah.
but that's just me. It's too early in the season.
Mhm.
Alrighty.
Thanks.
As everybody jets off, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, yep. Bye.
All right, bye guys.